You are currently listening to the What is Your Holistic Lifestyle show, where living holistic is not a challenge, it's a lifestyle. Discover with us new and exciting experiences, products, and educational information around living a healthy, holistic lifestyle. Let us begin our journey.
Welcome to another Wellness Wednesday here on the Inner Light Radio, known as the Healing Frequency. I'm one of your hosts here today, Johnathan Colbert, and we have Dr. Rabb, one of our co-hosts today. Dr. Rabb, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Been busy since my program this morning, but I shared some knowledge on ibuprofens and on this Flomax, and I got really into it. People need to know. They need to know.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dr. Rabb, why don't we take a moment to just share some of the highlights of that conversation?
Well, ibuprofens, a lot of people think ibuprofens are just, because it's over the counter, they think it's not dangerous, but it's just the opposite. It is. They went in depth into.
Yes, go ahead, Dr. Rabb.
They went in depth into talking about the dangers of Flomax and how it contributes to prostate cancer and other types of cancer.
Yes.
And that was, I think I spent about 10 to 15 minutes on that. And then I shared a little bit about, the depleted minerals in the soil. That's why the foods we're eating now, don't really get you the benefit that they should, because the soils, it's not done the same way. And, years ago, say moving back in history, plants would come up, from the ground, then they would fall back to the ground, and those plants would be absorbed back into the earth.
Correct.
So it kept the earth with the proper mineral content.
In balance.
Right, but that doesn't happen very much anymore unless somebody trying to do some organic farming somewhere, then they're putting things into the soil. But where they're using chemicals, you have foods that have no really minerals in them. And so that's why we're going through so many problems with our health, because a lot of people they just go to the supermarket and they think everything in there is healthy, and a lot of them shop from the first counter anyway, buying a lot of processed stuff. So that was two of the things I covered. Talked about the prostate issue, because too many men are going for prostate surgeries and all of this stuff. And we have one article that I read on the program one day had to do with a gentleman who went to a free prostate screening and ended up dead. Well, there was some step-by-step stuff in between, but virtually that's what happened. He went to a free screening. They told him he had, his PSA was elevated. So then he went to this doctor's office for the check, and they checked. They also, so they did a biopsy. Told him, we found one aggressive cancer cell. So then they did a prostatectomy. They took his prostate out. And he went back, they called, I don't know what time, they didn't say exactly what time period. He went back, they checked him again and said, your PSA is elevating again. We must have missed a malignant piece of prostate. So then they did radiation. The radiation burned a hole in his colon, so they had to take his colon out and put a colostomy bag on it. Then they found out they had also burned a hole in his bladder, but before they could get to do the bladder surgery, the man died. And so on his death certificate it said he died from sepsis poisoning. But the man who wrote the article said, no, he died from a free prostate screening and surgery that he never needed in the first place.
Well, I thank you for sharing, information like this, Dr. Rabb, because, all we can do is get the people out there to think about what's happening and start to do some research of their own, and just really try to understand what's out there. So I thank you for sharing that. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the What is Your Holistic Lifestyle show. We are live here every Wednesday from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we'd like to give a shout out to one of our show sponsors, which is Clarity, spelled CLAR8TY.com. That's CLAR8TY.com. If you're looking for a great product that is epigenetic and nutrigenomic, definitely go through and check them out. They've got amazing, amazing products. And their new product, Q-Spa. And I want to get into a really good topic today. It's very hot out there, and it is one that is going to light fires for some people. Some people are going to have doubts, and some people are going to sit back for a minute and realize what really comes from the earth and what plants have been here for a while, and then what's happening, what's being extracted from that plant. So this particular time, I'd like to take an opportunity to introduce to the show Dr. Tracy Ransome. Dr. Tracy, how are you?
Hello, Johnathan and Dr. Rabb. I'm doing fabulous. I'm feeling
Wonderful.
So good, and I'm just so grateful to be on your show today.
Well, you know, it's a pleasure to have you.
We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Now, you know, what I like about your narrative here is Dr. Tracy Ransome has a passion for living an extraordinary life and helping others feel as amazing as possible in their bodies and in their lives, so that we all may live our lives to the fullest, thrive, and give the gifts we were meant to give to the world.
Praise.
Now, you know, I'm telling you, that's beyond CNN, that's MSNCBN. I'm just kidding. But, you know, that's a great message, Dr. Tracy. Why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit of your background, and let's start with the modeling first. I happen to have a nice picture here.
Oh, you do? How did you get that?
He always gets the pictures, Dr. Tracy. He always ends up with pictures, but he doesn't share them.
Yes, I see. That's good.
I know there's good food in Jersey, so we got a lot to talk about here. So
yeah, a lot to talk about.
Your background here.
Yeah, you know, and thank you for sharing, you know, what I'm passionate about, because just listening to that just lights me up and, you know, and really pulls me forward. You know, and Dr. Rabb, when we were listening to that story you were telling, I was getting chills, you know, because the time is now, really, for all of us to step up, and myself included, and step into our power and to take back our health and our wellness. And it's possible to feel so amazing in our bodies. It's possible to feel bliss. And there's so many people that are suffering. And so this is really what gets me excited about, you know, getting out of bed in the morning and sharing, because on my journey, I've had some experiences that just turned my world upside down. And, you know, I had that experience of feeling this whole other level of what's possible in our body, and a whole other level of feeling amazing and bliss. And that's really what, you know, started me on this journey of really dedicating my life to this. But if you want to go way back, which it sounds like you do, so, you know, I grew up in New Jersey, and I went to Quaker school my whole life, from pre-K to 8th grade and then in high school. And I would say that really had a major impact on me. Quakerism is such a beautiful, it's a religion, but it's really about spirituality, and it's about energy, and really honoring the energy that connects us all, and honoring, you know, the energy in all human beings and in all animals and plants, and, you know, and really taking care of each other and taking care of the planet and being mindful.
Yes.
And so that was instilled in me at an early age. And then I was a major athlete. So I played Division I lacrosse in college. And so I was in touch with my body in that way growing up as an athlete. But sometimes it was about pushing, you know, kind of overriding the pain signal and pushing beyond. And I think that's a very delicate balance there. I think it's important to really be aware and be connected to your body and know when to push and where your limits are. And that's where I'm at now. But during that time, you know, nobody was talking like that back, you know, in the early 2000s when I was playing Division I lacrosse. And from there, after graduating, I moved up to New York City to follow my passion for acting. And I studied in New York and I acted in New York. And that was a really, really huge part of my life, because I started to realize the importance of the full range of emotion. Mm-hmm. And with acting, it's all about allowing the emotions to come through, being present in the moment, being present with the people that you're with. And so that was a big stretch for me, and it really helped me become more vulnerable. Mm. And it's funny when you look back on your life and you see all the pieces, and you see how you were being shaped to where you are now. And so from there, I moved to LA because of the acting. And then when I moved here, I retook the Landmark Forum. I started going to Agape. And basically, my spiritual life really took off. And I got introduced to this amazing type of chiropractic called network spinal analysis. And I got introduced to it in a very unique way. And it's a long story, but the short version is I basically had an experience, like I was describing before, mm-hmm. a spontaneous experience where I felt my heart open and I felt myself connect to more energy and more love than I had ever connected to before. And I started crying, and I touched for the first time in an embodied way that unconditional love that is always there.
Well, that must have been pretty powerful to experience that.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine.
It really was. It was a life-changing experience. And that's when I, was like, whoa, what is this? What is this that caused this? How can I experience more of this? And how can I help other people tap into this? Because I caught the vision of like, oh my gosh, the more we are connected to ourselves, the more we can feel that connection to ourselves and to all and to each other and to the planet, the more we want to take care of ourselves and take care of others and take care of the planet. And so then that was just like, it became my obsession. And, I was like, what do I have to do this? And they're like, oh, you have to be a chiropractic doctor. And I was like, all right, here we go. And so that's what, had me go to chiropractic school, which is one of the most challenging things I've ever done. Pretty intense.
I can only
but
imagine.
I'm so grateful. Yeah, I'm so grateful that I did it. And I have so many moments in the office or with family, moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, all of that challenge of chiropractic school was worth this moment. And that happens a lot.
Yeah, let me ask a question. Dr. Rabb, are you familiar with that type of chiropractic work that she mentioned?
Familiar, but being a naturopath, it wasn't something that we got a lot into. And I've got good friends that are chiropractors, and some they do different things. Some are more in tune with just, instead of cracking bones or whatever, they have a lot of other things that they've added in there. So, but yeah, familiarity, but not, it's not something that I studied, other than just on the fly when I look at things to figure out what I can do to help a person. And if it's something I know that's out of my realm of not necessarily a possibility, but I refer them to people. I don't, exactly. I stay in my lane, so to speak.
No, that's right. Yeah, I was just kind of familiar, and heard that term too much so far as chiropractic. So thanks for sharing, Dr. Rabb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Dr. Tracy, you got into this and you realized you had to have this credential for you to move forward to get into this space that, warmed your heart. So yes, please continue.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's actually many different types of chiropractic, which I learned more, when I went into school. And this particular type, it really honors what's happening with someone's body, mind, and spirit. Really taking in, I mean, talk about holistic, like your show. It's really, what is this person saying? What are they not saying? How are they holding themselves? The whole picture. So yeah, and it's really brilliant. And it was created by my friend and mentor, Dr. Johnny Epstein, who I just love so much. I spent time with him on Saturday night, which was just, such an honor. He was in town. Mm-hmm. And he's close friends with Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins is a huge fan of this work. Wherever he goes in the world, Tony will find a network chiropractor to take care of him, to help him, that's part of his regimen, so that he can be the best version of himself that he can be, so that he can, give his gift on the next level.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it's, there's so much that I could share about it. Basically it's all about energy as well. Like the philosophy is, when you have enough energy, there's no such thing as a problem. You feel resourceful, you feel energy rich, versus when our energy is low, that same challenge seems like a huge mountain. Yeah. And our energy level, it really influences like what thoughts we're thinking, what behaviors we're taking, our consciousness level. And before this work, I didn't quite realize that. If I was feeling low, I just thought that I maybe didn't have the same amount of influence in that moment that I do. So it's like, when you feel your energy drop, when you're feeling like stinky thoughts, when the monkey mind is just going, it's like, okay, what can I do right now to increase my energy? What are the things that give me the most energy? How can I tap into that right now? Because, we're the masters of our life. We're the directors and the star. And so, yeah, and, another huge piece of this work is the nervous system. And I talk about autonomic nervous system a lot, which is the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. So when we're feeling stress, the sympathetic is running the show. That is the fight, flight, fear mode. And luckily, we have a parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for digestion, for reproduction, for higher thought. And so these two, it's autonomic. It's automatically happening moment by moment. But we have a say in it. We can influence it. And so with this work, with network spinal analysis, it's a gentle touch that helps someone move from a state of tension, a state of, sympathetic overload, because life is so busy right now. It's information overload for people. And when your nervous system is more balanced, you can handle more. And so it's a gentle touch where we help people start to bring breath all the way through their body, help them start to process their own tension and engage more of the parasympathetic nervous system so that they can handle more. They have more access to their prefrontal lobe. Their body can heal. When we're at ease, our body does what it's meant to do, and it heals and it repairs. That's what happens when we sleep, and that's what happens when we're at ease, when the nervous system is balanced. I mean, even if you look at the word disease, dis-ease. So a body that's not at ease is more vulnerable to disease. And so, and there's lots of different forms of stress. There could be mental, physical, emotional, environmental, chemical. And when all of those are really high, it can be just a little thing, just that little straw that broke the camel's back that could send someone into experiencing symptoms and experiencing disease. And so we help to lower that. We help to take that bound energy, that bound tension, the body and liberate it so it can be used as fuel. And that's, I mean, I get so excited. There's like so many aspects to talk about.
Well, we like that. We like that.
Yeah.
All right.
You have to love what you do, Doc. You have to love what you do in order to do it. You have to.
Yeah, I think Shaka Khan did a song about that. Do you love what you feel? Yeah. All right. Yes. So listen, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the What is Your Holistic Lifestyle show. And we are live. The caller number is 310-928-7733. Once again, 310-928-7733. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into the specialty that Tracy's new love. Dr. Tracy's going to share with us what's happening out there in this plant world, in this oil world. We're going to bring it together for you. We'll be right back.
How many likes should I have on my page? Should I be posting every day? Why does my business need to be on Twitter? And what's all the fuss over hashtags anyway? These are just a few of the questions that business owners ask me every day. And so, if you're feeling socially frustrated, you're not alone. Breathe deep. Don't panic. Here's the good news. Social media isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's changing and expanding every day. You can literally jump in the game today and obtain the same social media and online presence as your competitors in no time at all. At Your Agenda Social Marketing, not only do we do social media, we teach it, and we inspire businesses, both big and small, to socialize. Your agenda becomes our agenda. Learn more at www.uragendamarketing.com. That's letter U, letter R, agendamarketing.com, or follow me on Facebook at UR Agenda Social Marketing. Let's get social starting today.
Meet me in the marvelous St. Martin for an evolution into self-love and soulful living with Agape Holistic Retreat in St. Martin and around the globe. Discover practical wisdom and everyday magic to live the life your soul is whispering. Enliven your soul. Embrace your heart's whispers. This is your soul talking. Hear it. Listen to you, aligned with its guidance for you to live the life of bliss, beauty, and joy. Hi, this is Bernadette Davies, founder of Agape Holistic Retreat in St. Martin and around the globe. I encourage you to love yourself more and meet us on Island Paradise. www.agapeholisticretreatsxm.com. We're an all-inclusive retreat in St. Martin and private retreats and around the globe. It's magically delicious, transformationally tantalizing, attunement, enhancement, alignment. Vibrationally enhance your DNA. Attunement, atonement, alignment.
Hi, I'm Roseanne Partridge, and I'm a life coach and special needs strategist. My passion for my work is inspired by the joy I feel when I see people living to their fullest potential, in spite of all the challenging circumstances, possible health issues, and evolving life dynamics. Whether it is dealing with daily stress, depression, anxiety, grief, or even stage fright, I coach you through simple steps and tools that make it easy for you to feel really good about yourself and the decisions you make. These will be skills that you will learn to use for yourself every day whenever you need them. Neurokinesis is a simple brain intervention technique that starts helping within seconds to reduce symptoms. To book a free 15-minute consultation to learn more about how this coaching intervention can potentially help you, please use the link at reallifechanges.com.
All right. And we are back. So let's get right into this, Dr. Tracy. So you got a message today, and it is about oil and what's happening. Give us the history of this.
Yeah.
Give us the history, what it is, the plant, how it gets into oil. Give us as much information and clarity as you can possibly share, because you have a passion for this, and you're about to jump through my earphones right now, and I love it.
I do. Yeah, so last November, I had a good friend, a fellow network chiropractor, give me a call, and he was so excited. He's like, you have got to check this out. Come to this event. And I really wanted to catch up with him, and I was like, sure. And so I went, and that is where I got introduced to CBD hemp oil.
Okay.
And this is so amazing. It is so powerful. I am so grateful for this plant. So what we're looking at is the hemp plant. So we have cannabis. We have marijuana. When cannabis is high in THC and low in CBD, cannabidiol, we call it marijuana. And when it is high in CBD and low in THC, it's hemp. And so what we're doing is we're taking this powerful oil from the whole hemp plant, and it is helping people in such profound ways. I'm just so grateful to be a part of this. So all those benefits you're hearing about, those health benefits from medical marijuana, you can get those from the CBD hemp oil without the high. And that, this is so complementary to what I'm already doing, because I'm all about, people being present, being connected.
Does it make the high bad if someone's high, or is just another alternative? What are your thoughts on that?
It's another, this is the thing, it's like, we all have our own journey, and we get to do our journey however we want to do it, so it's, for people that want that, and there is a time and a place, as you research it online, you can see, like, for instance, sometimes for certain cancer situations, and you'll find that, as you research it, but, because this is a food supplement, I can't make any claims because of the FDA. I have to be very conscious with my language. And that's the beautiful thing, is that there's so much online already that you can Google it. And I just love that there's an option that, that doesn't have you experience a high for people that want that. And like I was saying, I put a high value on connection and presence. And so this is very complementary to the work that I'm doing in the office. And this one particular type of CBD hemp oil that I'm really passionate about, I had a chance to spend time with Dr. Christopher Shade, who is the chemist and the formulator behind it. And he is so brilliant, a double PhD, into shamanism, so smart, so funny. And, he offers a lot of different products, but one of the products that he offers is the CBD hemp oil. And the company that I'm working with is partnering with him. So that makes me feel really good, because I know that the person who is formulating this, who is creating this, has really high standards. And that's really important. You want to look at, where is this hemp coming from? And ours is organic from Europe. And that's really important to look at in every single ingredient that's in the hemp oil. You want to make sure that is of the highest standard. And after speaking with him, I know that it is. And the one that I take and that I, recommend to practice members and friends and family. So,
all right. So let's take a step back, and just for a moment.
Sure.
Okay. And Dr. Rabb, go through this journey with me, because my background is Noni juice. So I work with the farmers, this, that, and the other. And this is all to the best of your knowledge, Dr. Tracy. So the plant grows. Okay. So now it can be balanced in two different ways. I think from your conversation, where one of them has more of the CBD, properties versus the marijuana style, where you would get higher, right? And you can get the strain to go either way. I'm sure you can manipulate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Right, so, any balance between the two, any formulation.
Yeah, because everybody's good at that nowadays. Okay. So when they go through and you take this plant, and this is something to your best of your knowledge, what happens? They pick it, it buds, they use the leaves, they dry it, they juice it. How is the oil created? And this is where people really get confused on the difference between, should I smoke it? What do I have? this, that, and the other. And Dr. Rabb, feel free to weigh in on this because the oil has to be created some type of way. And some people, they need to understand that. So this is for the listeners.
Yeah. So ours is a CO2 extraction.
Okay.
And so it's taking the whole plant, and so it's a CO2 extraction.
Okay.
And basically, I can kind of read you the explanation of that. It's a process that creates phase changes in carbon dioxide utilizing temperature and pressure.
Okay.
And CO2 is known as a tunable solvent, making it extremely versatile for creating a multitude of end products by controlling temperature and pressure. So basically, this is like the industry best way of doing it in a way that really preserves the benefits of the plant, the ingredients, the nutrients of the plant. And then what's also, kind of unique about the one that I'm using is that Dr. Christopher Shade is an expert in nano-emulsified liposomal delivery, which basically means that the particles are so small and the way that they're wrapped in a liposomal covering helps them able to enter the cell membrane, delivering the nutrients right to the cell, bypassing the digestive system so that you're able to get almost 100% bioavailability. And this is an area where he's really an expert, and he's using this nano-emulsified liposomal delivery to deliver other nutrients into the cells as well. So that's pretty amazing, because otherwise if the oil goes through the digestive system and it gets broken down by stomach acids, you're maybe getting like 6 to 10%. So this is just something to think about as people are researching and looking at options.
Oh, that's
really
a great
huge
point
to know about. Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Rabb, your thoughts?
What I'm still attempting to find out is where there's something that really works. Just recently, they had the program on the internet, the Sacred Plant. Were you aware of that, Doc?
Yeah, I caught a bit of that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. They had one doctor from Israel, he's an elderly man, and it talked about how much research he had done. And they had people that were using this oil, the hemp seed. They were using it, helping people with dementia, with whatever you can come up with. They were helping people with it, and they weren't getting high, And to be
right.
since I'm a person who doesn't keep secrets, at about the age of 30 is when I started smoking marijuana, just on a casual basis. I stopped at 35 because I started studying natural medicine at that point, and I made a decision. I can't do both. I've either got to put my time in learning how to heal my own body, and then that just transitioned me into getting my naturopathic degree and all this so I could help others. But I bought some e-liquid, and I had a vapor. It came with a little vapor, but I have not felt anything, and I'm not trying to get high. I was dealing with a little inflammation. But I haven't seen any of the ones that I have tried, and I've tried 2 or 3 different ones. I haven't seen any kind of results. So I'm looking for something that actually works, because I have a lot of people that come to my office dealing with cancer and various other maladies that this could help. So, and you get tired after a while of just somebody saying, well, this is the greatest. I mean, you buy it and, you don't see any positive effects. And so I think some of them are just not created. It's like all aren't created equal in the process or whatever. So I'm interested. Yeah, I'm looking for something that really can work, because, like I say, I have a little inflammation on occasion myself, so it can help me. It can certainly help a lot of my clients, because, as I say, some of these people are dealing with cancer, and some don't show up at my place until the chemotherapy doctors turn them loose and say, no more we can do for you.
Now, Dr. Tracy, how much of this oil, and I've seen some specials on the oil itself, and where people have moved to Denver because, you know, child's had seizures and so forth. And I think this was some of the oil I think that they were throwing away initially until people started getting results during their production. That was so crazy. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
So I'm trying to figure out how much of this oil does someone need to take, you know, every day. And I understand it's working with the mitochondria too. So you might want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, each person is so unique. But in my conversations with Dr. Chris Shade, for instance,
I got to get over that name, by the way.
Chris Shade, really?
That shade, that term is just out there in mainstream right now. I think those housewives made it kind of famous, you know, as, you know, in Atlanta for throwing shade. But yeah, I got to get past that. And then Slim Shady, you know, the rapper, Eminem. But anyway, I just thought I'd poke a little fun in there.
Yeah, he probably laughed too. He's so funny. He's hilarious. Yeah, so for instance, like in our formula, it's 4 pumps is a serving size, which is 2 milliliters, and that has 24 milligrams of the hemp extract, 16 milligrams of the phytocannabinoid diols. But again, like, because they're using the nano-emulsified liposomal delivery, less ends up having a pretty big effect because it's going straight into the cells. And there was a study that they did, this brand versus like the leading pharmaceutical brand, and it entered the bloodstream 3 times as quickly at half the dose. So 4 pumps is the standard serving size, but you know, I would say for someone they could start with that. If someone is experiencing an acute condition, I also will sometimes suggest that they take it twice a day. It's not something that you can overdose on, just like you can't overdose on marijuana either. And so it really just depends on the person. And, you know, and like you were saying, Dr. Rabb, is, you know, you want to experience it yourself. You want to have an experience with something. And, you know, for me, where I was already feeling great already, you know, as I give the network spinal analysis care, I also receive it myself every week. And so when I took the hemp oil, I mean, I'm with wellness, I'm always all about the next level. Okay, how can I feel even better? You know, what's the next level in life, in feeling? You know, there's no ceiling to how amazing we can feel. So when I first took this, I just felt like a gentle relaxation, and not tired, but not like, you know, excited like I had just had caffeine, but just like this nice balance. And the monkey mind just kind of quieted, which is, you know, that sympathetic fight, flight, that aspect. Like, I could just feel my mind just kind of get a little bit more just peaceful. And that's how Dr. Chris Shade describes it too. It gives people space. It just gives people space. It calms that, it balances that nervous system so that the body can do what it naturally does when we allow it to. And the other thing, you know, that he talked about, and I have videos where he really goes into the science, and I have those on my website, so people are welcome to, you know, dig into that more. But basically, you know, we have a whole endocannabinoid system, which is so exciting. It was discovered in 1992. So they didn't even talk about it in chiropractic school. I talked to a couple medical doctor friends of mine. They didn't even talk about it in med school. It was just discovered in 1992 that we have endogenous cannabinoids. We make this ourselves, and that's how we have the cell receptor sites to be able to receive it from plants.
Right.
And there's a high amount in breast milk and in animal milk. so it's basically, animals with vertebrae have the endocannabinoid system. And so the CBD hemp oil, it basically enhances the tone of the receptors so that they can receive more of the endogenous cannabinoids. So that's basically the science of how it's working. And talk about inflammation. He went into detail about how it helps to balance the glutamate and GABA imbalance, how it calms the glutamate excess in the body, how it, lowers inflammation all over the body and in the brain. And so, and this is the cool thing, like if you just Google CBD hemp oil and whatever that, the disease or the symptoms, you will find so much online, which really makes my job a lot easier because I can't, talk here and make claims like, oh, it'll, I want to because I know, I've had all these people in my office and friends and family, and now like the team that I'm working with in getting this hemp oil out to the world, I'm hearing all kinds of stories. But in a public forum, I can't really share those. But what I can do is direct people to Google, where there's tons of information, there's tons of studies, there's testimonials. And what I think is the most amazing thing is when I see the videos of people that are experiencing seizures and how this hemp oil helps with that. And I'll just say that.
Well, and you know what?
Can Google that.
I will give you my address, my phone number, my email, and whatever else you need to share that with me because I'm open. I'm looking for things that can help people and can help myself as well. I just had my 75th birthday, and I plan to be around here another 30, 40 years, so I need some assistance.
Congratulations. That is awesome.
Thank you.
75 years young.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
So you go through and, through your practice, now you're in Manhattan Beach, right?
Yes, I'm in Manhattan Beach.
Yeah. Well, I'm usually out there. I usually go to my favorite Mexican restaurant over there, El Tarasco's. Been there forever. Love that place.
Oh, yeah. That's like right near me. You'll have to stop in. Yeah.
I like it out there.
I didn't know you were my next door neighbor.
Yeah. Well, you ought to come by your place, Dr. Rabb.
I'm in Inglewood.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. Neighbor.
I'm on Manchester Boulevard, just east of the 405 freeway, about 3 blocks east of the freeway.
Okay, great. Yeah, very close.
I thought you were off in Cancun or somewhere. Wait, that's the
Oh, that
you
sounds
around
nice.
the corner. You're a neighbor.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah,
love that.
Beach.
Well, you got something here too that I want to just have you mention. It is we talked about TV. What is the Nano-Bac TX?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So,
this is the cardiovascular health and increase of blood flow. So I'd like to talk about that and what that is.
Sure. So Dr. Donnie Epstein, who is the one that created Network Spinal Analysis, he had shared about the Nano-Bac TX at his seminars. And so it was in my mind. And what happened was, around January of 2016, I was in New Zealand and I got a call from my parents, saying that my dad had a coronary artery calcium test done and that his score was 400, which is kind of the high end of moderate. And he went to his local cardiologist, and the cardiologist suggested that he get a catheterization. So my parents were calling to let me know that Dad was going to have a catheterization on Wednesday, like in a few days, and that, there were some risks. And I was just like, I don't think so. I mean, I'm so glad that they called because, in that moment, I was like, okay, let's see here. I remember Donnie saying that he had gone through a cardiac challenge himself and that he, this Nano-Bach TX had helped him. So I reach out to Donnie, and he puts me in touch with the doc who created the Nano-Bach TX, Dr. Gary Metzo, who's in Florida. And basically, Dr. Gary Metzo, he's a cardiologist, and he himself has, like, his family, there's a history of heart disease, of, dying at a young age. And so he had a score of like 700 on this coronary artery calcium test. And that's what drove him to create this Nano-Bach TX. And basically what it does is it dissolves cardiac plaque. And so he took it himself, and he got his score back down to 0. And, it helped Donnie, who, is my trusted friend and mentor. And so, so I told Dad about it, and, I got my dad on it. And, Donnie had also, gotten into Dr. Esselstein's diet recommendations. And Dr. Esselstein is, he has a whole diet that basically helps to reverse and prevent heart disease. And he really helped Bill Clinton when he was going through his heart challenge. So basically I, got my dad on the Nano-Bach TX, and, and also following Dr. Esselstein's diet, which is pretty strict, very vegan, but Dad did it for a while. And I'm just, so happy and thrilled to say that my dad is doing really well. He never had to have that catheterization, which I'm super grateful for. And then I also, got my dad connected with a cardiologist in New York City who uses the Nano-Bach TX as part of his protocol. And then another cardiologist out of Bristol who also is aware of the Nano-Bach TX. So I wanted to connect him with the cardiologist that would support him in this way of thinking, in the possibility of using this and kind of a combination of holistic and Western medicine together to really, look at this in a holistic way. And so I'm just so grateful. This is the beauty of sharing. When you have something that not many people know about, and you know about it, and it's helped you, and sharing, thank God that Donnie had shared that, and I had heard it. And so when this situation happened, I knew, who to call, and he connected me to the right person and then the right docs on the East Coast, because my family's on the East Coast, I'm on the West Coast. And so, yeah, so, the Nano-Bach TX has worked really well for my dad, along with, the eating in a very healthy way. There's a whole series of exercises that I teach in the office called somato-respiratory integration, body-breath integration, things that people can do on their own to help lower the sympathetic, engage the parasympathetic, tap into the different energies that are, what's needed in the moment. So, I have, I share those with my parents. And my mom and my dad, they walk a lot, and it's just really doing everything you can to achieve wellness, to be responsible for your health. And it's just great that we're all, I'm so grateful that you have this show, to be able to share with people, these possibilities. And the other thing I really learned from that whole experience is how important it is to get more than one opinion. It's like, yes, I'm sure you guys can understand. It's like once you're in the whole like medical field, you start to be able to see past what the appearances are, see past the smoke and mirrors to like what's really going on. And I can't recommend it more, the importance of getting more than one opinion and starting to take your health into your own hands, to be responsible, to do the research yourself.
Yeah, Dr. Gary Gordon, he's on the DVD, the Cancer is Curable Now, and he said you should always get a second opinion. He said, and the third might be even better.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Definitely.
I like that. All right, but I want to take this time, Dr. Tracy, for you to go through and give out all of your information, what you want everyone to have, either, your website, your number, your email, whatever you like to share with the listeners. And please repeat everything twice.
Sure. Okay. So my website is drtracyransome.com. DrTracyRan as in Nancy, SOM as in Mary, E.com. drtracyransome.com. On there, I have information about the network Chiropractic and also the CBD hemp oil. I have another site just for the CBD hemp oil, and that's drtracy.primemybody.com. drtracy.primemybody.com. And what's awesome about the CBD hemp oil that I'm working with is that if you love it and you share it with people, you can also make money from it, which is awesome. And you don't have to be like a doctor to do that. So yes. I'm all about just, spreading the word, and also just helping people with their health and their wealth. That's really fun.
Now, would you go over that last one more time, Dr. Tracy, the one to prime my body?
Sure. Dr. Tracy, DrTracy.primemybody.com.
Okay.
And my email is drtracy@drtracyransome.com. And my Facebook is just Dr. Tracy Ransome. So there's a theme. It makes it easier to find me.
Well, you're keeping everything nice and consistent.
Yeah. And my phone number, which is also on my website, is 310-713-6682. So that's 310-713-6682.
Very good.
Well, it's very important that, people share their passions and what they find. We certainly heard that today from you, Dr. Tracy. We really appreciate you being on the show here. And, you have on your site, CBD hemp oil is so powerful and beneficial to your body, mind, and spirit. It offers the health benefits of medical marijuana, but without the high. So it's important that, a lot of people out there really understand that, especially the elderly people, because, getting high and everything else is so negative. They just really they put a bad, stint on that over the years, especially with movies, out there with reefer madness and so forth. It's been crazy. But, that's an attempt for the government to control things. So now when we take our health into our own hands here, that industry gets hurt, and it's a greedy industry. So everything we need here, I believe, comes out of the ground, and it's been here. So the world's in a big discovery place right now. And it's a good place for us to be in right now, but everything else is going on. It's so crazy. Dr. Rabb, your closing thoughts.
It's always a pleasure to connect with someone that's doing something positive and doing something that's more natural and not just pushing pharmaceuticals. And I know drugs have their place, but for emergencies, they're not for long-term use. They're not food. Yeah. They don't act as food in your body. So it's learning more about the natural things that the Creator created for us and starting to do more of that and eating more living food. That's the answer to our problems. But, we have so many restrictions in this society, but still there's a way to get to the natural. But so many people are just not there. They want a quick fix. They think that if I have something, I'll get a prescription and I'm going to be fine, and then I don't have to spend a lot of time going through this and doing that. I don't need to cleanse my body. It's just sad, but that's where we are. So we have to keep the education going because education trumps medication.
All right.
Yes.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you here, Dr. Tracy. We'll definitely have to get you back on again as you discover down this journey, and you come in contact with more things that you add to your particular profile. And I say that because I see you as a heart out there picking up pieces along the way. So I really want to thank you for sharing everything that you did today, and we'll get you back on the show. For those of you just tuning in, definitely go to our Facebook page. Dr. Tracy's information is there. That Facebook page is What Is Your Holistic Lifestyle Show. Once again, it is What Is Your Holistic Lifestyle Show. We're on Facebook there. Like and share our information. We're here every Wednesday from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Once again, a shout out to Innerlight Radio, the Healing Frequency. And we'll be here next Wednesday, right here, sharing more information with you. We thank you. Much love.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Dr.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you, Dr. Tracy.
We would like to thank all of you for listening to What Is Your Holistic Lifestyle Show. Please share our link and information with your community at www.whatisyourholisticlifestyleshow.net. Looking forward to seeing y'all next week right here, discovering holistic health with us.